China. Yes, you heard that right. China. I wish I had like one of those buttons where I could make my voice lower. China. Will China end up owning multiple NBA teams? Probably. Yeah, probably. Lost in the shuffle this past month is a decision that Adam Silver and the NBA made about who can own an NBA team. The NBA Board of Governors made a rule change that allows sovereign wealth funds. Anytime I hear those three words together, I start freaking the fuck out. Sovereign wealth funds? I don't know, like Saudi Arabia and it's just look that up for a second. Endowments, pension funds, all can buy stakes in NBA teams. Why is this important? Well, because sovereign wealth funds are offshoots of foreign governments. And the NBA now becomes the first pro sport in America to allow foreign governments to buy into the league. Are we going to have some fucking international warfare inside the NBA? Whoa. Could you imagine? Which team would it be? I mean, it's got to be the Brooklyn Nets, right? Like Joe Tsai. Joe Tsai. We know how connected he is to China. Just made that up at the top of my head. Probably true. Who else would it be? Tillman Fertitta of the Houston Rockets seems like he would be open to selling a share to Saudi Arabia. Listen, I'm not going to slander anybody else, but I'm sure there's a few people who would do it. They could take positions also in up to 5 teams at the same goddamn time. If you think tampering's a issue now, imagine if, let's say Saudi, let's say Russia. Russia owns 5 NBA teams. 5. Imagine. What kind of trades are we going to see? What kind of free agency situations are we going to see? I mean, the opportunities for chaos are limitless. Limitless. And I don't mean the Bradley Cooper film. I mean, like, literally expand your imagination to how bad this can be. And, well, let's just go through it. Why is this a problem? Well, let's say the Chinese government buys a 20% stake in 5 NBA teams. We know for a fact that the Chinese government can just randomly decide to ban an NBA team if they're doing something they don't like. We saw that happen, right, with Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets. They did this to the Celtics over the Enes Kanter freedom situation. So the question is, what does Adam Silver do when there's China owning teams? How does he deal with that? Does he take a stance? Probably not. Like, what happens when more problems arise with China when they own the equivalent of the entire NBA team? Let's talk about other prominent sovereign wealth funds. Countries like Qatar, hosting the World Cup right now. Ask what's been going on in Qatar. Do a quick little Google search. Did you see any of these football players putting their hands to their mouth because they've been silenced by the government about the atrocities that took place just to build those fucking arenas? Imagine the type of things that could happen on our own soil if Qatar owned the fucking, I don't know, Seattle Supersonics. Be honest. I don't know, Las Vegas Rattlesnakes. That would be fucking wild. They could put themselves in position to own and influence the league in ways that probably no foreign nation should. Here are the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world. Let's just go through them. 1, China Investment Corporation, $1.4 trillion. Think they could buy a couple teams? Maybe the Phoenix Suns? I don't know, it's hot there. Norway Government Pension Fund, $1.1 trillion. Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. Look at their human rights, call it situation, right? $790 billion. Kuwait Investment Authority. Are you starting to get the chills? $750 billion. Shout out to Norway being probably the only one that's like, I'm accepting that. Yeah, let's let them be the only one. But 11 of the 13 largest sovereign wealth funds, in fact, are either Middle Eastern or Chinese. Folks. I know this is not a political podcast. You don't need my political takes. But I don't see how letting governments that are knee-deep, like armpits deep in human rights abuses, having, any influence at all in this league. Like, none. It's not a good idea. Adam Silver is becoming very unlikable, is he not? This is something David Stern would never allow. And Adam Silver just wants to do everything he can to grow and expand the revenue of this league. And I tell you what, I'm not fucking here for it.